So if you've been handed your home building budget and you're staring at the pages of math and you're wondering, what does this really mean? This video is for you. So you've been handed this budget and it's pages and pages of information, and you're looking at it and you see words and you see numbers and you see a column that's adding all these numbers up, but you're still like, how accurate is this? I mean, I see the numbers. I know everybody can do math here, but when we start this project, what happens next? Do we stay with this number? Does the number increase? Does it decrease? Where are we going with this? So in this video, I'm going to show you the one column that we use that completely communicates what the budget actually means. So I've been building in Houston, Texas for 25 years, and I've put hundreds of budgets together. And I will be the first to tell you that that process has evolved based on all the feedback that our clients have told us and projects that I didn't actually get the opportunity to build because I failed to communicate something. And our experience is that the budget is a communication tool. That's it. It's not actually your budget. And what we do in this communication tool is we organize the information based on how we have sourced it. And in this column that I'm going to explain, homeowners fully understand what's received, how it was received, and what's remaining to be detailed. So let's talk about the 4 things that are most important about understanding your budget. The first thing is the price certainty column. And I will tell you, this is not a normal thing in the industry. This is built out of reacting to what clients are actually trying to find in a budget. And what that column does is it tells you, client, that when there's a cost for something, let's just say it's your tile labor, the builder is assigning how certain we are about that price. Now, in order to assign a percentage, 50%, 75%, 95%, we're going after 3 things to build the budget. The first thing is an allowance, right? A designer, architect will either provide an allowance or the builder has a conversation with the client and there's an allowance. That's a conversation. And it's based on maybe inspiration images, something like that. The second thing is an actual bid. So the builder says, okay, I have enough information in the pricing set to then reach out to our trades and get an actual bid from them based on our experience with them. That's the second number that could be plugged into the price certainty column. The third thing is historical data. Easy ones like, I think we'll have a dumpster out here for 24 months. And the cost for a dumpster is X amount per month. That's historical data. So those 3 things tell us how certain or the percentage that we want to assign in that column. So if it's a bid from a trade, I'll call that 75 to 80%. I'm pretty certain. If it's an allowance, it could be 50% because who knows what's going to happen. Even though we've had these conversations with a client, we all know what happens when materials are beautiful and shiny and we're just lured into them. That price can go way up. So we may call that 50%. To get to 95%, to me, that's a little bit risky during a pricing exercise. So typically, as the design is developed, we work towards that 95% certainty. So the second most important thing to understand in your budget would be allowances. And I know I talked a little bit about that, but I want to dig a little bit deeper. So let's say that it's a beautiful home and we're imagining brass shelves in the bar and maybe brass or bronze inserts in the floor. And we know there's metal work here, but we really don't know how expensive this is going to be in the very beginning because we don't have a full set of plans. And that can happen. And so what happens is the weight is landed on the builder and the builder says, okay, I think we need $200,000 worth of metal work in this bid or in this budget. Well, we know the real number later on could be either $100,000 or $1 million. So that's how allowances work. Sometimes we're super accurate, sometimes we're not. Allowances are placeholders. They're not the actual price. So what I really want to convey is that when we see allowances in a budget, we just need to know that's not the number. It's going to be something else. And when you're reviewing a budget and you see 20 of the 50 items are allowances, now we have an interpretation of what the budget means today and how it's going to be developed. Okay, so let's talk about the third thing, the budget conversation that puts everybody on the same page. When you really break down how a budget is built, it's based off of information. It's based off of a pricing set and specifications from an architect. It's based off of design inspiration images and allowances. It's based off of the builder reaching out for historical data to input into the budget. And it's based on the client taking all of this information and telling the team how they would like to maneuver. That's the conversation that wants to happen. So when we present a budget, we want everybody at the table. It's really not the builder saying, hey, this is your budget, I'm a know-it-all, I have a crystal ball, I'm gonna make it happen. It's not that. If you hear that, run like crazy. So just remember, every line item in your budget has an owner, truly. If you go through each of these cost codes, a designer provides an allowance. An architect provides a specification for the brick on the outside of the house. The builder reaches out to trades to get information or vendors for material pricing. So in this budget, it's a compilation of all different people on your team, your designer, your architect, and your builder. And so the responsibility of the client or the homeowner is to understand what that really means, take that information, and go develop the pricing to where you get to a real number in the budget with your team. All right, and the last one is what tells you the truth about the budget. It's called contingency. So hear me out. The contingency line item exists because there are unknowns in a project. Again, it's life, it changes, it moves, the weather shows up, people get sick, materials are no longer available. It's a living organism. And for the unknowns, there needs to be a bucket of money there available to respond to the unknowns. So in your project, if you see a budget that is 50% certain, when you add everything up, the team says we're 50% certain. If the contingency line item is very, very low, that could be a problem. Because think about it, if we're 50% certain that this is the budget, there are a lot of contingencies. So that contingency really needs to be about 8% of the budget, maybe even more. Now, on the flip side, we've reviewed the budget. We're 85% certain about this budget. Well, the contingency line item should be much lower than 8 or 10%. It really wants to hover around 1 or 2%. So it's always important to recognize the pattern of percent certainty and the contingency bucket of money as it relates to how certain or uncertain we are about a budget. So remember, lower certainty, lower price certainty, higher contingency number. High certainty around the budget, lower contingency number. Okay, so if any of this was helpful, we have a free digital community for homeowners and builders, and that's in the link in the description. If you want to go on a deeper dive on budgets and price certainty, beyond the blueprints is where you want to go to. So that link is also in the description.